and today we've got this. This is the Eachine QX65 and it's a mini whoop FPV racer. And here is the quadcopter. Look at that. This is a 65mm FPV racer mini whoop. It looks really nice. So to begin with, let's start at the front and work our way to the back. So we have a 700 TVL camera. You can angle the lens ever so slightly with it. Now if we work our way further back, we have a little antenna. Then we have the main body of the quadcopter with quite a few holes in the back there just for aeration, because this quadcopter does get very, very warm indeed. Then we have our 4 propellers, which are running 0615 coreless brushed motors. Now these particular brushed motors do get warm as well. If you're flying indoor, because this quadcopter is rated as an indoor quadcopter, you will find you are going to get warm. If you're outside, then I would recommend, if you are going to take it outside, that you do so on a day where there is no wind. This is very light and it is prone to fly away. Now the frame is made from high quality ABS. It has on-screen display as well, so when you do use FPV goggles you will get an on-screen display up on your FPV goggles. That will show you a lot of information about the quadcopter and about the flight. You can alter what on-screen display settings you have via betaflight. This particular quadcopter does need configuration via betaflight in order for you to take her out. Now even though it requires betaflight, you are going to notice that once you plug this into your computer and open up the betaflight application, that the settings of this should be pre-programmed from the manufacturer, but it's always good to double check and have a little look and see. Now you have 3 modes of flight with this particular quadcopter: acro, angle and air. So you do have acro there for people who like to use acro. Now if we turn her over, you do get on the underside here, this is where your battery fits. We do have a little plug there as well, which just plugs into the battery, and then we do have another antenna there which comes out from the bottom. Now if you want to replace these motors, these are just standard push pin motors, so you can get more and just remove this little elastic band from the outside of the motor housing and then just snap in the new motor there. It is quite easy. It is quite as easy as that. Now if I just turn this around and put this down for a second, let's look at some of the accessories. So as I said, we have 2 chargers. So we have a single USB charger there, which you can charge 1 battery at a time. But then also you do get a multi-charger as well, which you can charge off a larger battery, a larger FPV racing battery, should you need to as well. Now the information in the manual about how to use these 2, I recommend you have a quick little read of it before you do, just to ensure you're using it properly. So that is quite sweet, that is quite nice that we get those. Let's put those to one side. There we are. We also get 6 batteries. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and I've got 1 on charge ready. These will come with a small amount of charge, but you will ensure that you will have to charge them up before you use them. These batteries are 250 mAh 3.8 volt batteries, and they will give you roughly 3 to 4 minutes of flight each. So if you want a long flight, make sure you have all of these charged up. You can get other ones as well, should you prefer to use them, or should you want to get more of this particular battery, then you can do so as well from Eachine or from Amazon. So let's put those to one side. There we go. And then likewise, I said it does come with extra cases, so should you want to transplant the quadcopter from the green into the yellow or the white housing and frame, then you can do so as well. That's quite nice. I've not seen that with a quadcopter getting so many accessories. This is the Fly More combo, the advanced version. You can get another 2 versions as well. But for the extra couple of pound, I think it's worth going for the advanced model here. So let's put all these back in. Let's tidy this place up a little bit, and then we'll come on to the transmitter. So as I said, you don't get a transmitter with this particular quadcopter. You do get a choice of 3 different receivers inside the quadcopter, and then you can use your transmitters. Now with this one, I have managed to bind this transmitter to the quadcopter. Now this transmitter is the FlySky or the Eachine i6. I had it with a tilt rotor quadcopter a few years ago, and I thought I'd keep hold of it, and it's really worth doing so. Now when you come to use the FlySky or the Eachine especially the Eachine i6, actually the FlySky gives you access to the menu straight away. The Eachine i6 won't give you access to the menu, so it is a little bit more difficult in order to bind with the quadcopter, but there is a way to get around this. You've got your 2 trim buttons at the bottom. If you hold those in and then turn on, and then let go of the trim buttons. Now if you click and hold OK, it'll take you into the menu. Now when you're in the menu, you can then just click around, and you can, by using the little up and down arrows and then using OK or cancel, you can go in and select different options. When you want to save, you've got to click and hold cancel in order to save. That is something that baffled me for a bit because I haven't used this for a while. Now when you want to come and, so what I would do is, so what I've done on here is I've gone into system setup, I've created a new model for it there, because there are quite a few different modes that you can select, and I have selected, let me just go through, I've selected mode 1, but you do get up to mode 8 I think on this, up to mode 9. So once you're all set up and ready to go, then turn off the quadcopter, turn off the transmitter. You've then got to undo these 3 screws, take off the lid, hold down the bind button while you plug in, and then you can let go of the bind button. And then once you've done that, you can click and hold on the bind button on your transmitter and then flicker on, and then she should bind after a couple of moments there. Once you've done that, then you should then be able to go turn off your quadcopter, turn off your transmitter, turn them all back on, and you should be ready to fly. The one difference is that you are going to have to use switch B in order to arm and disarm. Now switch B on mode 1 is disarm, switch B on mode 2 is armed. So because even though these are plastic and even though these are brush motors, they will spin extremely fast, I would recommend that once you land this little quad, you do move switch B up to number 1 just to disarm the motors. And then what you'll find is once you're all plugged in and once you're ready to go, as I'll show you in a second, so let's just pop a battery in here for now. I hope this has got a little bit of charge in it, otherwise that could be quite awkward. Let's pop, yeah, there we are, we got a little bit of battery in there. Let's turn her on. Now you can see she's bound straight away because I have bound to the transmitter. And then in with switch B all the way up in mode 1, you see, there's no throttle action at all. But if I switch down to mode 2 and gently move the throttle, there we are, you get a little bit of motion there. And once again, if you switch back up to mode 1, then you'll find that there is absolutely nothing going to happen there. You are disarmed. So there we are, you've got your different acro modes as well. You've got acro, horizon, and your other modes just by switching this little switch here, switch C by the way. So let's turn all this off. Right, okay, let's have a quick little look at betaflight. So this is betaflight, and this is something that I am actually particularly quite new to. So when you start off, you have got to connect the quadcopter. Now from this view, you can start to set up your quadcopter. But as I said, the majority of the quad should be set up from factory default. You can recalibrate the accelerometer here as well, should you wish. Now when you come down to ports, you have to turn on the UART3 port. And then click save. As standard, everything should be set up as a brushed quadcopter and to have motor stop. I've just changed the name here from the QX65 to JD Quad, and then once you're ready, click save and reboot. Once that has all been saved, then you should be good then to move on to the next part. The next part then being power and battery, nothing to do there. PID tuning, nothing to do there. Receiver, nothing to do there at all. It's already been set up as ATR, and that's fine. Now when it comes to modes, what I've done here is I've altered the 3 modes. I've chosen the auxiliary buttons for them, and I've added another 2 modes in. So as standard, horizon wasn't added, I've added that. But as you can see, there's a little yellow marker. So what I'm going to do is just move these over to the yellow marker, as I think, as I said, I'm quite new to this, but I think that's kind of like the default setting, the recommended setting for them. So I'm just going to move it there. Now click save again and it'll write back. Nothing to do with the motors and the OSD, the on-screen display. I've already moved things around the place a little bit, but I do want to turn on, where is it? Let's have a little look. Where's it gone? I can't see it. I did want to turn on, there we are, I wanted to turn on the temperature as well, so I can see the temperature of the quadcopter, of the ESC, of the onboard computer, just to see how that goes. So let's click save, and let's save that now. You can drag everything around this betaflight. I've also changed the units to imperial from metric. So that is a little look at betaflight. You can see all of your log will change towards the top of the betaflight interface too. So there we have it, folks. We've had a little look at the quadcopter. Now there is one more thing to say. Now what I would say is that this manual that comes with it is a massive help. Now, if you have gone for the FlySky remote, the FlySky receiver rather, then what this will tell you is it'll tell you exactly how they've configured it, how to bind the quadcopter to the 2A transmitter, how to set up betaflight, as well as which way to add the propellers should you want to replace them, how to charge the batteries. This goes into a lot of detail. Now, as manuals go, this is probably one of the best I've seen in any quadcopter box. It goes through absolutely, well, mostly everything. I'm not going to say absolutely everything, but mostly everything. So make sure you give that a little read then, folks, before you set this guy up and take him out for a flight. So there we have it. So all in all, you get quite the package with this particular quadcopter, and it is worth every single penny. Once again, all the links are going to be in the description should you want to go and check this little guy out. So there we are, folks. Thank you ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.